doing? To the left here, obviously, campground, all that kind of stuff, swimming pool, game courts, mini golf, and you can also go up this way and over the hill and get to the Chief Logan Lodge. It's pretty big, you know, like a hotel kind of thing, back up on a mountain, conference center, that sort of thing. It's really pretty, but you go up and over the hill to get to that. Look at that. I remember once years ago we came up for a haunted event. It's the Liz Spurlock Amphitheater, and the stage and stuff is over on this side. But I remember we came up for like a Halloween event, you know, haunted trail, that kind of thing. I remember we came up and we sat right there and waited our turn. Concession stand and bathrooms. Look at the size of that thing. Steam locomotive. That thing is 25-30 foot tall from the ground to the top. Massive. Let's go check out the sign. Okay, this is the Chesapeake and Ohio 2755 steam locomotive, built by the Lima Locomotive Works in 1947. The C&O 2755 was an integral part of the coal mining and railroad industry in West Virginia. Retired from C&O railway service in 1956. Moved to its present location in March of 1961 and placed on the National Register of Historic Places on September 28th of 2006. Look at that. The wheels on that thing are taller than me. You know, you can't like get over there to like actually reference, but that thing is massive. It is huge. I guess it just about had to be, didn't it? Just about had to be. The thing is big. It's twice as big as an engine these days. Alright, let's head on down to the museum. Wait a minute, here's a little sign. It's a Class K4 engine, model 2700, the 55th of the series. Was donated to the park in '61. Was one of 90 that was built in 1947, it says. Hauled coal and property that now belongs to Chief Logan State Park. So it actually ran right here, approximately 90 miles to a steel mill in Russell, Kentucky. The use of the engine was abandoned with the invention of the diesel engine. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. Off to the museum. That's a pretty building, isn't it? That is pretty. Looks old. And Chief Logan is right there. Right there is Chief Logan himself. Alright, let's go. Park headquarters, office, reservation, visitor center, gift shop, and museum. Multifunctional. That'll work. Be right back. You get the camera on the little handheld and I'll be right back. Okay, I got the camera on the little handheld mount and we'll just leave the bike parked right there. But before we go in, I thought I would show you. They have a little memorial to coal miners of southern West Virginia who perished in mine accidents or lung disease. Donated by the United Mine Workers of America. Just thought I'd show y'all that. And there's a historical marker here about the Holden 22 mine explosion. We did a story on that one as well. Anyway, the museum in the park. And we are ready to go in and check out the museum. Howdy.
How's it going?
Going well. So can you just go on in?
Yeah, just walk right in.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's the guy I was talking to earlier. Now, looky. Wow, check out that architecture. Look at them ceilings. That is really cool. Alright, first things first. Marshall University. Y'all may remember the story about the plane crash. Marshall University. What's this? Fostoria. What is it? Oh, crystal. Okay, I get it. I'm a hillbilly. It's, you know, not my thing. Now, if it was a squirrel, I'd know what it was. Antique glass. That looks familiar. I think my grandma might have had one of those. Green Rooster candy dish. And there's a display here, you know, coal miners all through here. We are going, yeah, there's the wagon. I remember that. Look at that. Bust of Victor Green, James Stewart, coal, 1977. Look at that. That's some good work, isn't it? A big lump of coal and carve that out of it. Look how smooth. That's pretty impressive. An old switchboard from the historic Aracoma. Yeah, I know where this was. The Aracoma Hotel, downtown Logan. I know exactly the spot where this was at. That's pretty cool, isn't it? You call somebody and they connect you. They literally connect you with them. It's wild, isn't it? Seemed like it'd be a handful to keep up with, too. Not to mention, the operator sitting there listening to everything you say. Telling all of her friends what you're up to. Okay, I think this was the Conestoga here. This was the smaller one, the standard size. There was a big one too. It was like the moving truck. But let's see. The Miller Stanley Farm Wagon. In 1880, William Miller of Swan Pond in Berkeley County made this Conestoga wagon for a relative. The wagon has 5 wood braces to hold the cloth covering and a 10-foot tongue for pulling the horses. I think the horses pull the wagon, but the wagon was passed from generation to generation and over the years was used primarily to haul grain. At some point after Alfred Stanley's ancestors acquired the wagon, it became a popular attraction of local parades. Mrs. Alfred Stanley of Martinsburg donated the wagon to the West Virginia State Museum in 1988. Now this was prairie schooner. You've heard that term, the prairie schooner. That's this one. And the way they did that, the Conestoga, you made it yourself. They were homemade. You made it yourself. But if you followed specific instructions, if you made them, like the Conestoga's supposed to be made, you cut this piece here, that piece there, you know what I mean. They were all interchangeable. The piece from this, you could take the wheel off this, it would fit on another one. This piece, that piece, whatever, didn't, they were actually, multifunctional, right? It's 1850. Everybody thinks that the people that went, they were sleeping, this was their home on wheels, basically, a camper, more or less. No, that is not how that worked. Here, let me extend this handle and look inside. See, when you were traveling to California or wherever you were going, right, you had all of your stuff inside there, all of your furniture, all of your stove probably, different things inside the wagon. Now I got a question. Are you going to empty this wagon every night? Put everything out here on the ground so that you and your family can sleep inside there? No, of course you're not. What they would do is they would sleep on the ground underneath here if it was raining, or out here on the ground if the weather was nice. Now most people don't know that, but yeah, that's how you did this stuff. Most people think that they slept in the wagon like a camper, but no, this was not a camper. It was a moving truck. Big difference, and it was a loaded down moving truck at that. But whoever did build it, looks like they did a really good job, didn't they? Look at that. Look at them bolts in that. That is cool. That is cool. Very interesting, isn't it? Like I said, everybody always assumes. I love the Conestoga, and that was the first one that I ever saw, like in its full glory. Was this one right here, still pristine, still new looking, still fully functional, the whole 9 yards. You could hook your team up to that and probably haul all kinds of stuff in that thing. It's wild though, isn't it? Prairie schooners, sailing ships of the American plains. Cool, huh? Okay. Plows, various block and tackle. Just really, really old antiques, right? Look at that. That thing made, 4 rows? 5 rows as it went. That's pretty good. What is that? Anybody know what this is? It's got something, looks like a bellows on the back of it. Huh. Wait a minute. An Eagle corn planter. Okay, I see it now, from 1940. Look at the boots. Lumberjack boots from 1920. I always used hiking shoes when I did that sort of thing. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff about the wagons. That is wild though, isn't it? It just basically, you just kind of made it up. You just follow the same pattern for, the frame and stuff, and you can pretty much get creative from there up. Whatever you want to do. Cool, huh? Very cool. Very creative. Was a very creative way of going about it. I wonder, that's probably more or less what people used right there to kind of go by, to make these. Really cool, ain't it? J.E. Peck house that burned about 1960. Little kid on. Got the goggles on his head. Bunch of cool old pictures. Old coal company houses, courthouses. That's the Logan one, I believe. Yeah, Logan County Courthouse, the old Logan Courthouse. That's interesting. I've never seen that many people in Logan. Ever. Ever. Okay, what's next? A nutting stone used by Native Americans to grind nuts into meal. Started to say cornmeal. This particular stone was found in Chief Logan State Park across from the Liz Spurlock Amphitheater. That's right over there where I just showed you guys. This Native American nutting stone, grinding stone, was found right across the road from the place I just showed you guys. How cool is that? Logan Village site, native arrowheads and things. A drilled canine tooth. Prehistoric ceramic shards. Prehistoric. A stone gaming piece. Excuse me. Conch shell. Call you mail beads. Wonder where they got conch shell. I mean, they got it from conch. Before it says that, but here, where would you get something like that here? Beads. Different styles. It's a knife. Look at that. A little teeny knife. Oh, a salt kettle. Yeah, you take brine, salt deposit, brine, and put it in there and steam the water out, and it leaves you with salt. It's called a salt kettle. Look at that. The foam from the Holden 22 mine. Whoa. That's the one I was just telling you about outside. 1800s grocery store, more or less what you would expect to see. Pretty cool, huh? A barber chair right over here. Various things that you might use on a day-to-day basis in 1850. Prince Albert in a can. Y'all got Prince Albert in a can? You better let him out. Look at that coffee. That is cool looking We just got like plain old cans now. We don't have fancy stuff like that now. That is really wild looking. Quilting loom. Spindle. Look at that. That's a pretty one, isn't it? Very complicated to make, so I'm told. You know, not that I have actually ever built one, but you know, so I hear. Okay, now. That's the 27. That's the 2700. I think it's called the 2700 series, and the one out front is 2755. Very cool, isn't it? Very interesting stuff about old coal mines, and you know, we've kind of covered a lot of this stuff. In other videos. Southern West Virginia and the railroad. You can't really have one without the other, could you? You had Southern West Virginia back in the day producing coal, and you had to have the railroad to haul the coal out, and built a country. What's that? What do we have here? This is a model of longwall miner, a coal plow, brought to the United States in the 1950s. German mining engineer Manfred Schlemenkamp of Mining Progress Inc. Used this model to attract potential clients. Eventually sold units to Island Creek Coal Company, Eastern. Cool. Okay, so they're equipped with a rotating drum now instead of teeth. The teeth are different. So basically it was a model of how we can remove a ton of coal in a fraction of the time. Interesting. No comment. Metal. Don't leave it outside. Sister Mary Elaine Mears. Evolution, a wood exhibit, 1969. Little detail work in it. What's that? Replica Ceramics, United Marvin Smith. Oh, Replete, West Virginia. Thought it said replica, just glanced at it. World War II exhibit. What is that again? Whoa, a piece of the Union Jack from the USS West Virginia. Wow. Was taken aboard the USS Tennessee and saved. Check that out. That is really cool. Alright, let's go down the front here. Got wooden displays. Look at that. Handmade trucks and backhoes and all kinds of stuff. Metals. that. Look at the size of them rounds. The MREs, what they used to look like. They're just little pouches nowadays. Compass. Check that knife out. Browning automatic. That's pretty cool. What's the sword? Does it say? 1860. Trapdoor. It's talking about the rifle, 30 cal. Don't mention the sword. I think the sword's kind of just as interesting as any of the rest of it. Look at that thing. Green and white summer jacket and cap, 1955. Owned by First Lieutenant Marjorie Lemley Teague. The jacket and cap were worn with a matching green and white summer dress. 1955. Okay, we looked at that one. Look at that. Civil War. Here we go. Wow, check that stuff out. Look at that ball. Can you imagine getting hit with something like that? Seen that? There's a famous suit of armor. I think it was Napoleonic. Has a hole right through the chest. A ball about that size. World War One. With the bugle in the back. Look at that. It looks like, I'm guessing that thing has probably played reveille once or twice. Very cool little museum. Yeah, the Buffalo Creek disaster. We did a story about that too, the flood. Laredo coal mining. And we did a story about that one too. Okay, that pretty much covers the museum, I do believe. There's some really cool stuff though, don't they? I love the wagon. The wagon is definitely my favorite thing in here. Very cool. Thank you very much. I love that wagon. I love that Conestoga wagon. That is really cool.
It is, yeah.
Well, thank you again, man. You have a good day.
You too.
Very cool little museum. Got one out here. Tom Rose Tomlin, 1941-2007. We remember his dedication, leadership, and foresight in founding. Oh, Christmas in the Park in 1994. I know what that is. They decorate this whole place during Christmas. It's uncountable lights up through here. Just, you know, stuff jumping, deer jumping across the road and all kinds of stuff. He's the one that started it, huh? Former businessman, county clerk, sheriff, and legislator. Tom Rose Tomlin. Oh, it's a gutter. It took me a second. That's a chain gutter. Water goes down the chain. Okay, well, that pretty much covers this little spot. Like I said, this is where the museum and all that is, and the train is right over there, and you know, the old equipment there, playground, all that stuff. Fitness trail. I like the other ones better. The other names better. You know, what is it? Waterfall Trail is down this way. Rattlesnake Trail is up that way. And Fitness Trail. The dude that named that one just kind of phoned it in, didn't he? What do you want to name it? I don't know. It's a fitness trail. How about that? Anyway, we are headed now. We are headed down this way and back up through there where that vehicle is going. Get the camera back on the handlebars and head up that way. Okay, I got the camera back on the bike. One more quick thing I did want to mention before we head out. This bell sitting right in front of the building, in front of the the museum. This is the courthouse bell from the old Logan County Courthouse. And it says the bell was placed in the cell tower of the courthouse in 1905. It was made by the American Bell and Foundry Company in Michigan and weighs approximately 2,000 pounds. In 1912, the courthouse burned, and this same bell was placed in the new courthouse bell tower that same year. It remained there to ring out the victories of World War I, World War II, and the Korean War and West Virginia Centennial Celebration in 1963. In 1963, the courthouse was in dire need of repair and was torn down and replaced by a modern building. The bell was saved by Sidney W. Farrell and brought to the Chief Logan State Park. It says the bell is a Logan County landmark now and is dedicated to Sidney W. Farrell and the citizens of Logan County. That is really cool, ain't it? That is really cool. Over 100 years old. What, 121 right about, at least, because it was placed in 1905. So yeah, that is really cool. Rang at the end of World War I and II. That is really cool. Alright, let's head out, and we are, like I said, we're going up that way and back out and up the road.